There you have it, Mushoku Tensei fans. If you want a figurine of Best Bro sold at, it's time to contact the planning company. Refugin, the author of Mushoku Tensei, has confirmed he's all for it. You just need to contact the planning company. Anyways, yes, Refugin today has made quite a few comments regarding merchandise surrounding the Mushoku Tensei franchise. Honestly, it was a very fulfilling thing for me because I have had conversations before with certain people to explain to them why they do and don't do certain things with mainly the main heroine characters of the franchise. There was this debate why they keep selling Sylphie when she's young. Why don't they sell merchandise of her older? And my response at that point was like, okay, they're trying to sell this merchandise together as a bundle with the three main heroines. And what's the big problem we have right now? Well, Sylphie's aged. We haven't seen Roxy in a long time, and she's probably not going to change much. But Edis is probably going to change too, and we have not seen her in the anime. And most of this merchandise right now is for the anime adaptation. They don't want to spoil things. It's kind of a bummer for those that are longtime Mushoku Tensei fans. They want figurines of all these characters that come up in the future, but unfortunately, a lot of this merchandise is from the companies that are paying into the anime franchise, and they want to sell merch for the anime franchise. Rather than the light novel that has been around for a long time, this is this new popular thing. So they're trying to stick with the script, basically. So yes, a lot of this stuff can't be done. And so it's really fulfilling to see, Refugin come out and actually confirm exactly what I said. Let's get into what he actually said. He said, every time I want to release merchandise for Mushoku Tensei with the three heroines, I feel like I have to make Sylphie a child if I want to include Edis. Which is kind of funny. When he was asked to clarify it, he said, even if I wanted to pick Sylphie in her current form, the form that she has in the currently airing the anime, and match it to Edis' age to that, it means that the corresponding form of Edis that has not been depicted in the anime. Again, what he's basically saying there is that I want to sell them as a 3, which makes sense. Again, from my perspective as somebody that used to work alongside a lot of marketing people, yes, a lot of that stuff you kind of want to keep together because you're going to go to a printing company and you're going to have the printing company make, say, a clear file, and you don't want them to just make one character. You're going to have them print multiple different types so they can do it all at once and bundle it all together and then sell that merchandise. And so yes, the 3 most popular characters of the franchise is going to be Edis, Sylphie, and Roxy. That's the 3 main heroines. And that's the trouble that you kind of run into, is that because the anime itself is so isolated most of the time, you have characters elsewhere and time is kind of spanning over time, we don't know what Edis looks like. And so they're trying to make sure the franchise or the merchandise stays to that. So they kept Sylphie at a young age to kind of be for the season 1 look. Yes, we're getting a little bit of stuff out now with at least Sylphie with white hair, which is nice. But whenever they want to pair them together, they have to keep to that age group. And that's the sucky thing. And that was what I was trying to explain to people. And this kind of confirms it. So he did make a lot of other comments about the merchandise as well. Somebody, again, like I mentioned earlier, was like, hey, where's the sold at stuff? And he replied saying, tell that to the planning company. Which that's kind of a problem that I think we have in general. I mean, if you're an anime fan or fan of a franchise, that's the ongoing issue, is that you love this character, they like it, but at the same time, will it sell? When you have, say, a figurine, especially a figurine takes a lot of putting together. You have to have somebody sculpt it, put together. They have to make molds. They have to fill the molds. They have to paint them. They have to they put them on the shelves, distribute them, all that kind of stuff. If they don't sell, they lose money. That's why, unfortunately, when you go to like AmiAmi or something like that, a website for selling figurines, they have a category for Bashoujo, and it's just full. That's like most of their stock right there, because it's the main waifu characters. That's what sells. As much as I would love a Zenoba figurine, a Bodyguard figurine, I would love. There's so many, even the male character. Rudius. Where's a Rudius figurine? Where's a Rudius something? Like a clear file, something of Rudius. You're not going to have it. There's probably some out there sprinkled here and there, but for the most part, it just doesn't sell. Male characters, unfortunately, just do not sell unless it's a pretty boy show that's, for Fujoshis and stuff like that. It's not going to sell. So they just focus on the waifu characters. You're not going to get a Cliff character, as much as I would love it. But yeah, it's just kind of the unfortunate thing there. So, but yeah, to the point that he was making a minute ago with the whole idea of Edis and her form, that's the difficulty they have right now, is that they would love to show something right now. I mean, even somebody harshly added at him saying, then show Edis in the anime. Just show her. Where the hell is she at? And he replied saying, there's no need to write such harsh tone. Of course, the anime has its own intentions and circumstances. it's got a flow of the story that it's going through. And they're not going to make merch for the current time because more time could actually expand. And yes, we don't know what she currently looks like. The anime fans don't know what she looks like. They're not going to spoil that. Edis could have lost an arm between now and the next time that we see her. She could lose an eye. We don't know because the anime onlys, their perspective right now is with Rudius. And if she does show back up, that's the point in which they can make merchandise for her again. If she does show up, that's how she's going to look, and then they'll sell the merch. That's the whole thing they're kind of pointing out there. So that's the unfortunate thing they have. He even made a comment about Sylphie with her white hair. If the anime goes all the way to season 3, I think it will come out as it should. But Sylphie from season 2 will probably be quite rare. Again, I think they're probably trying to wait for a point in which all these characters are in the same place. Or at least the anime itself has boom, 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 showed all 3 of them. Because again, he likes the idea of selling merchandise with the 3. And if they're not currently in a time span of at least a year probably, or at least a growth of the characters shown at the same time, they're not going to be able to sell that merch. So it's going to be that struggle there. Yes, I do technically recognize that he's saying if it does get all the way to season 3. I don't think he's meaning that it's not going to happen, or that there's some sort... Don't read too much in that, I would say that. Don't read too much in that, like, oh my gosh, does that mean there's troubles? I think him knowing more well than anybody else, just like I repeat to people on a regular basis, there is no guarantee how many seasons this will get. There's no guarantee this is a full adaptation. As much as people want to repeat that, there is no guarantee there. They could literally shut it down tomorrow. They could literally cancel the entire... It's probably not going to ever happen because they probably have plenty of it done, but there's no reason that they're going to shut it down, but there is a chance they could. There's no guarantee that this stuff gets full adaptation. So he's just basically being very clear about that. He's not going to confirm it or whatever. I guess for Refugian's perspective right here is that it's not his job or his position, even though he is the author, to make confirmations that a season 3 is made. Again, they have not announced a season 3, so he can't say that. He could probably, but he's not going to say that because nothing has been announced publicly. So there you go. But anyways, I just want to get on here and let you guys know about these little kind of comments that Refugian made about merchandising. I think it's very interesting. As much as I think my biggest problem that I have with people that converse about the merchandise that they do for Mushoku Tensei is, and it was the reason why I had that conversation back then, is that people love repeating this thing of, oh, it's... At the time it was Bind. People saying that Bind was the one that loves Sylphie as a young one. And it's like, it's not Bind. Bind doesn't own the property. It's not their ownership there. They don't own it to sell the merch. And plus, additionally, the fact that, yes, it's not because they just have an obsession with her. Refugian right here himself is saying it's because that's the time in which the show has shown them all together, and I like to sell them as a pair, a trio. So that's why Sylphie's always young. It's not that Bind or the property owner has an obsession with lollies that some people like to claim. It's just that that's what they've decided to not spoil what Edis may or may not look like right now. So there it is. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, you have to make sure that like button down below, comment. Let me know if you think of this whole situation. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button is good my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list if it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips, links, everything, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does, and y'all take care.